Alright, I hope everyone's been doing pretty well. Today I'm going to be talking about Yinlin, her kits, and who she works well with. Before we start, make sure to like, subscribe, and possibly join the Discord because you'll have a chance to win a free battle pass on the day of release. If you also have plans to become a Discord mod or a Twitch mod, we have applications out now, and we also have other events to happen in the future. I'm also having a poll on what persona/character chibi version I should do, and the poll should be up by the time the video is uploaded. Please check it out. Thank you. With that out of the way, let's get started. So up on the screen should be some of the basic stats that she starts out with, and some of them are: at level 90, she'll be around 11,000 HP with 448 attack, with 1,283 defense, max 8 energy with 125. Her crit rate should be around 13%, with 150% crit damage. When talking about crit damage, it's not necessarily an increase of 150%. It's just saying that the 100% is a base stat, and she gets an extra 50% on top of that. She gets 0% healing bonus, and she has 0% bonus electro damage. As for Yinlin herself, she is a 5-star character. She is on the limited banner, which should be on version 1.0, and she uses the rectifier weapon type. So going off with her skills, she has a couple of basic attacks called the Zap String Stance. She controls a puppet that attacks up to 4 times, which causes electro damage. She also has a heavy attack, which also causes electro damage. And she also has a mid-air attack, which grabs the puppet and crashes onto the ground, which causes electro damage. And finally, she has a dodge counter that, when used at a perfect time, you are essentially counter parrying and attacking the other person, which causes electro damage once again. Keep in mind that whenever the basic attack hits the opponent, it will leave a silk thread connecting to the opponent, which is basically called the puppet's zap string. And this Sin binding mark only disappears whenever Yinlin leaves the field. Moving on to the resonance skills, we have the magnetic roar. So what she does is she essentially deals electric damage to the target within the range and puts Yinlin into the magnetic state for approximately 8 seconds. Well, when you're in the magnetic state, you're essentially doing an enhanced basic attack and evasion attack. Finally, there's also the lightning execution, which deals electro damage once, and it ends with the magnetic state, which we talked about before, that essentially enhances the basic attack and evasion attack, which can trigger up to 4 times. Moving on to the resonance liberation, she has the sky breaking thunder strike, which causes a wide range of electro damage. So it's an AoE attack, and when the target is hit, a thread, just like the one with the basic attack, is left to the target. The target is then given the Sin binding mark. So let's go on with the Forte Circuit skill. So starting out with the Forte Circuit skill, we have what they call a judgment point, and you can build it up by making basic attacks or using the 2 different resonance skills, which were the magnetic roar and the lightning execution. Once you have the judgment points full, you can use the 1,000 faces, which allows you to do an AoE damage. And when the enemy already has a Sinner's mark, which can happen from like a basic attack, it gets replaced by a punishment mark, which lasts for 18 seconds. Moving on to the inherent skills, she has Pain Immersion, and she also has Target Focus. For Pain Immersion, after using a resonance skill, which is the magnetic roar, she increases her crit rate by 15%, which lasts for 5 seconds. The other inherent skill, called the Target Focus, activates whenever the lightning execution hits a target with a Sin binding mark, which increases the damage by 10%. The attack percentage is also increased by following 10%. This effect will essentially last 4 seconds. Finally, moving on to the intro and outro skill, whenever Yinlin is coming into the field, she uses the puppet string to attack, which also causes a wide electro damage. Her outro skill is called the Electro Strategy. What she does is electro damage is essentially increased by 20% when she leaves the field, which, if you think about it, could potentially set up for some pretty good buffs. Her Resonance Liberation damage bonus is also increased by 25%, and both effects last for 14 seconds. Now, there are a couple of questions and concerns that people have. So the first one is probably, is she a main DPS or is she supposed to be a sub DPS? Well, my answer to that is technically you could go either way. The reason why I say that is because for main DPS, she has the potential. She has more than enough on-time field because she needs to be on field to proc different skills to actually activate her full ability. She can also be played as a sub DPS, so she can be on the field and out of the field very quickly so that she deals a lot of damage. She also boosts other people that benefit from her electro damage bonus. So who does she work well with? First of all, Calcharo. Calcharo is another electro unit that is DPS focused. He works extremely well with her because his ultimate is electro damage based. So when Yinlin comes into the field and leaves the field, not only does she do damage to the entire enemy, but she also boosts the electro damage by roughly 20%. If you don't have Calcharo, you can always go with Yuanwu as the second main DPS option. Another question that is commonly asked is what echo is actually good with her. So my two options that I would recommend is either the Wuthering Memphis or the Tempest Memphis. Both of them deals an extra electro damage bonus, which is specifically 12%. The Wuthering Memphis simply deals close-up damage, so they're very, close to the enemy, while the Tempest Memphis deals long-range damage. Now the final question that I see people commonly asking is who should pull for her? To that question, first of all, if you want to get her, just get her. She's a pretty good, sub DPS, main DPS. But as for the meta, I would say if you're going for a electro based kind of team, then definitely go for her. She's one of the best sub DPS or even main DPS to help your team out. If you also plan on using her for a very long time, she could be another good sub DPS for a potential future lightning damage main carry. However, I generally would not recommend her if you're going for some other elemental character. For instance, if you're going for Ji-Yan and you want Yinlin as the sub DPS with Ji-Yan, sure, you can use the two characters, but the only thing is that their elemental won't necessarily combine too well with the electro damage bonus that Ji-Yan literally can't take advantage of. I think that's everything for me. I hope you guys liked the video. Please let me know, on the poll what type of chibi that I should be. And yeah, thank you guys very much. I'll see you guys later.